This Saturday, the highlight of the meeting at Delta Downs, and one of the highlights of my year, the last few, has been my trip out to Vinton, Louisiana for Delta Jackpot Saturday. It's going to be a big day with 8 stakes races, 2 graded stakes, and over $2 million in purse. And the big one, that's the Delta Jackpot. 10 Kentucky Derby points on the line, $1 million purse, $600,000 to the winning connections. And we're going to take a look at the field via the morning line. This field was drawn on Tuesday, and Mr. Z was installed as your 5-2 morning line favorite. Now, you go back through the years, Mr. Z is probably the most accomplished horse to ever come in to the Delta Downs Jackpot. He has run 6 times. He has 3-time graded stakes placed. He was second in the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity. And if you just go through Mr. Z's career, race by race, this is a horse who has done absolutely nothing wrong. His career debut was a really good maiden win where he broke on top. And what I noticed in that race, he didn't really seem like he liked the lead. When he took back and then came on again, that's when he ran his best. I think his poor performance in the Iroquois was the same reason. He was 5th that day with an easy lead, but he just doesn't seem to be the same horse when he's on the front end. That was a really good race that we just showed you in the Breeders' Futurity. He was second behind Carpe Diem, who came back to finish second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Mr. Z exited that race to run a very good 5th, went wide with trouble in between horses. He was within striking range. Actually had the lead at the top of the lane in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He is no doubt the one to beat. And if he's around 5-2, 2-1, that may not be a bad price at all. He is very, very accomplished. He's handy, he's tactical, he's versatile. And the Zayats, they won this race with a dead heat back in 2007 with Z Humor. So to me, you have to start with Mr. Z. Let's look at a couple other interesting prospects for the Delta Jackpot. Let's go to Red Button, who was a really good second in the Zuma Beach. This was on turf. And one thing that I'll tell you, the turf courses play very similar to the track at Delta Downs. It's very similar to how it used to be at Barrett's at Fairplex, sometimes at Charlestown. Bullring style tracks with tight turns generally play very well to horses who run on the turf because of those tight turns. This is a good effort from Red Button. Was a clear second in here. And early on was off a little slow, showed some tactical speed to sit fourth, moved up nicely along the rail, got a solid run through on the inside, was a no excuses second, and was clear of third. Red Button, very interesting, and Red Button is 12-1 on the morning line. I'll just mention a couple more in here for you. Wake Up Nick. Wake Up Nick, it goes out for Leandro Mora right now in Redham Racing. Doug O'Neill, part connections with this group, won this race in 2012 with Golden Sense. They actually sent horses here in the last few years too with No More and with Rum Point. And we're actually looking at the race of Unblunted right now. Unblunted, who is going to be trying to draw in off the also eligibles list. In career start number 2, this was a monster win for Unblunted. But a little bit of trouble in the debut run. Unblunted stepped forward in a huge way, and just a repeat of this performance would make Unblunted tough. The issue with Unblunted is he's going to need some luck. He's going to need someone to have to scratch in order for him to draw in, because these Delta races, they're going to be stopped at 10. So if Unblunted does not get a draw in, he'll be sitting on the outside looking in. One horse who I guess you can say he will try to wake back up off of his only career loss. To me, his second place effort most recently was probably better than many of his wins against Calbreds. He's beaten Open Company a few times, and Wake Up Nick, he is handy, he is versatile. This is the Golden State Juvenile, and this was Wake Up Nick's first defeat. This was the first time he did not win a race. He's really one of the most experienced in the field, and he's another, similar to Conquest Tsunami, where you just can't knock. I love this effort. He was in between horses early. He had to take back just a bit. He was tucked in fourth on the inside. He had to wait on the rail. He got shuffled back. After getting shuffled back, he was then hooked 4 wide, and he tried all the way. To me, he is a quality animal, Calbred or not, and I think we saw a Calbred last year have some pretty good success against Open Company in some of the biggest races on the planet, the Derby, the Preakness, and yeah, California Chrome ran a pretty good third in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So Wake Up Nick, he's interesting. He's going to be a nice price in there. One more horse just to mention for you, Prime Engine. Prime Engine could be an absolute freak show. And remember, freak show, that's positive in the world of horse racing. Only in horse racing when you call some horse or someone a freak, is that a good thing? And that is the case with Prime Engine. You just don't know how good this horse could be. He's done everything that he's asked, and he looks like a phenomenal animal. Now he's in the Jerry Hollendorfer barn. And remember what Jerry Hollendorfer did with the 2-year-old private purchase last year? I think this is a horse who he's just acquired into his barn for the same ownership group. But yeah, that was Shared Belief last year, who went on to all the success this year. I'm very excited for the Delta Jackpot on Saturday. Going to be a huge day with 8 stakes races, over $2 million in purses, and the big one, the Delta Downs Jackpot. Mr. Z installed as the 5-2 morning line favorite. Make sure you watch all the action and play along with us, TVG.